A conversation begins that feels like it's been waiting forever to unfold. That spark wasn't chance. It was synchronicity, what Carl Jung called a divine alignment orchestrated by a higher force. Call it God or the cosmos. But here's the truth. Your soulmate might not be who you expect. They're not always here for a fairy tale ending sometimes. They're here to mirror your deepest truths, shake your world, and awaken the real you, all without you even noticing. Welcome to Jung's Psyche Hub, where we unravel the mysteries of the soul through Carl Jung's timeless wisdom. In this video, we're diving into 3 ways. The universe introduces you to your soulmate in ways you never see coming. From cosmic coincidences to life-altering awakenings, these encounters are more than love. They're a sacred call to become whole, with real stories, Jung's philosophy, and practical steps you can start today. We'll show you how to recognize these divine connections and what they mean for your journey. Whether you felt that inexplicable pull or you're still searching, this is for you. Let's uncover the truth together. Your soul is ready. What if the universe is secretly pulling strings to bring your soulmate into your life? Not through grand gestures or fairy tale moments, but through quiet, almost invisible coincidences that feel too perfect to be random. Carl Jung called this synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that defy logic, orchestrated by a higher force, whether you call it God, the cosmos, or the unconscious. These aren't accidents, they're divine appointments. Moments when the universe aligns 2 souls for a purpose bigger than either of you can see. In this chapter, we'll explore how synchronicity acts as the universe's way of introducing you to your soulmate, often without you realizing it, through real stories. Jung's wisdom and practical steps to notice these cosmic breadcrumbs in your own life. Let's start with a story. Meet Emma, a 30-year-old journalist from Denver. Emma was at a crossroads, burned out from her demanding job and questioning her purpose. One rainy afternoon, she missed a flight to a work conference due to a delayed taxi. Frustrated, she ducked into a nearby cafe to wait out the storm. There, she noticed a man reading a book she'd loved as a teenager, a rare novel about chasing dreams. Curiosity got the better of her, and she struck up a conversation. His name was Tom, a graphic designer with a warm smile and a story that mirrored her own struggles. They talked for hours, and what began as a chance encounter turned into a deep friendship. Tom's encouragement pushed Emma to rediscover her passion for creative writing, a dream she'd buried under years of deadlines. Looking back, Emma realized that missing her flight wasn't bad luck, it was synchronicity. The universe nudging her towards someone who would spark her transformation. Jung believed synchronicity is the universe's way of speaking to us through events that seem unrelated, but carry profound meaning. It's not just luck when you meet someone at the exact moment you need them. It's a cosmic design. Jung saw these moments as the work of the unconscious, a force beyond our control that orchestrates encounters to help us grow. In the context of soulmates, synchronicity is how God or the universal intelligence introduces you to someone whose energy aligns with a lesson, a wound, or a truth you're ready to face. These meetings often happen when you're at a turning point, when your soul is whispering, it's time to evolve. The universe doesn't send a neon sign, it sends a missed flight, a chance conversation, or a book dropped on the floor. And in that moment, 2 souls collide, not by chance, but by divine timing. Why do these encounters feel so special? Because they resonate with something deeper than your conscious mind can grasp. When Emma met Tom, it wasn't just about their shared love for a book, it was about the timing. She was ready to reconnect with a part of herself she'd lost. And Tom's presence was the catalyst. Jung would say this is the unconscious at work, pulling you towards someone who carries the exact frequency to awaken you. It's why you might feel an instant connection, a strange familiarity, or a pull you can't explain. It's not love at first sight. It's recognition. As if your soul says, "Oh, it's you. I've been waiting." But synchronicity isn't always romantic. Your soulmate might be a friend, a mentor, or even a stranger you meet once. What matters is the impact they arrive to shift your path. Take Alex, a 25-year-old barista in Seattle, struggling with self-doubt after dropping out of college. He felt lost. One day, a customer named Maria left a note on a napkin. "You're meant for more. Keep going." That simple act led to a conversation, and Maria, a local artist, became a mentor who helped Alex pursue photography. The napkin wasn't random, it was synchronicity. A moment orchestrated to remind Alex of his worth. Years later, he became a successful photographer, and he still keeps that napkin as a reminder of the universe's guidance. How can you recognize synchronicity in your own life? It starts with paying attention. Jung believed that the unconscious speaks through patterns, symbols, and coincidences that feel too meaningful to ignore. That person you keep running into, the song that plays right when you're thinking of them, the accidental meeting that changes your perspective. These are the universe's breadcrumbs. They're subtle, but they carry weight. When you meet someone and feel a spark that defies logic, it's not just chemistry, it's a signal that your soul is ready for a shift. Here's a practical step. Start a synchronicity journal. Every day, write down moments that feel like more than coincidence. Maybe you bumped into someone at a bookstore who recommended a book that spoke to your soul. Maybe a stranger's kind words came exactly when you needed hope. Ask yourself, what was I feeling before this happened? What changed after over time? You'll notice patterns, moments when the universe seems to align people and events with surgical precision. Emma started this practice after meeting Tom and realized that synchronicities had been guiding her all along. She just hadn't seen them. This journal isn't just a record. It's a way to tune into the universe's language, helping you spot the soulmates who arrive to teach or awaken you. Another tip, trust the timing. Synchronicity often happens when you're not looking for it, when you're lost, stuck, or even broken. Jung said these moments are when the unconscious is most active, nudging you toward growth. If you're wondering why you met someone at a specific time, reflect on what was happening in your life. Were you questioning your path, facing a fear ready to heal? The universe doesn't waste energy. It brings soulmates into your orbit when you're ripe for transformation. Alex met Maria when he was at his lowest, and her note was the spark that lit his path. Your soulmate's arrival isn't random. It's a response to your soul's readiness. One final thought. Synchronicity isn't just about the meeting. It's about the meaning. Not every soulmate stays forever, but every soulmate leaves a mark. They might be a fleeting encounter or a lifelong bond, but their purpose is to guide you closer to your true self. Jung believed that these divine alignments are the universe's way of saying, you're not alone on this journey. So, the next time you feel that inexplicable pull towards someone, pause. Look for the signs. That chance meeting might just be the universe or God whispering, this is your moment to grow. Before we move to the next chapter, where we'll explore how soulmates mirror your deepest truths, take a moment to reflect. Have you ever had a coincidence that felt like fate? Share it in the comments below. Your story might inspire someone else. Let's keep this journey going. Have you ever met someone who stirred feelings so deep? It felt like they saw right through you, not just your strengths, but your fears, your doubts, the parts of you you've tried to hide even from yourself. These aren't just chance encounters, they're soulmates sent by the universe, acting as mirrors to reflect your inner world. Carl Jung taught that the people who touch us most deeply are often the ones who show us our shadow, the hidden, suppressed parts of ourselves we've buried out of shame or fear. In this chapter, we'll explore how soulmates serve as mirrors, revealing your unhealed wounds and unspoken truths to guide you toward wholeness. Through real stories, Jung's wisdom, and practical steps, you'll learn how to face what these mirrors show you and why it's a sacred part of finding your true self. Let's dive into a story. Meet James, a 27-year-old musician from Chicago. James was confident on stage, but off stage, he wrestled with a nagging fear of failure that kept him from pursuing his dream of writing original music. Then he met Lily at a local open mic night. Their connection was instant. Her bold energy and sharp wit drew him in like a magnet. But as they grew closer, James noticed something unsettling. Lily's casual comments about chasing dreams hit him hard, stirring up insecurities he thought he'd buried. When she encouraged him to share his own songs, he froze, overwhelmed by self-doubt. At first, he blamed Lily for being too pushy. But deep down, he knew she wasn't the problem. She was a mirror, reflecting his fear of not being good enough, a wound from years of being told to play it safe. That realization was painful, but it was also the push James needed. He started writing again, confronting his fears head-on, and eventually released an album that became his proudest work. Lily wasn't just a friend, she was a soulmate who showed him the parts of himself he'd been avoiding. Jung believed that soulmates aren't just here to make you feel good, they're here to make you see. The shadow, as he described it, is everything you've pushed away your fears. Shame, or decides you've deemed unacceptable. Maybe it's the anger you suppress to seem nice, the ambition you hide to avoid judgment, or the vulnerability you lock away to feel strong. When a soulmate enters your life, their presence acts like a spotlight, illuminating these hidden corners. It's why their words, actions, or even silence can trigger you in ways you don't expect. That discomfort isn't a sign of a bad connection, it's a sign of a profound one. Jung called this process part of individuation, the journey to integrate all parts of yourself, light and shadow, to become whole. Your soulmate doesn't create your pain, they reveal it, holding up a mirror to the wounds you need to heal. Why does this hurt so much? Because seeing your shadow is never easy. When someone reflects back your insecurities or fears, it feels personal. You might lash out, pull away, or blame them, like James did with Lily. But Jung would say, that's your ego, fighting to stay comfortable. The truth is, your soulmate's role isn't to fix you. It's to show you where you're still broken so you can fix yourself. Their presence might make you feel unworthy, abandoned, or exposed. But those feelings were already there, waiting to be acknowledged. A soulmate's mirror doesn't just show you what's wrong, it shows you what's possible. By facing what they reflect, you unlock the potential to become the fullest version of yourself. Consider Mia, a 34-year-old lawyer from Boston. Mia prided herself on being independent, but deep down, she feared intimacy, a scar from a childhood where she felt unseen. When she met Daniel, a co-worker, with a warm, open heart, she felt both drawn to him and terrified. His kindness made her feel safe, but it also triggered her fear of being vulnerable. Every time he tried to get closer, she pushed him away, convinced he'd eventually leave. At first, Mia thought Daniel was too needy, but therapy helped her see the truth. He was mirroring her fear of being unlovable. That realization was a turning point. Mia started journaling about her triggers, slowly learning to open her heart. Daniel didn't stay in her life forever. But his mirror helped Mia heal a wound that had shaped her for years. He was her soulmate, not for romance, but for growth. So, how do you work with the mirror a soulmate holds up? It starts with courage. Jung taught that facing your shadow is the first step to wholeness. But it requires honesty. When someone triggers you, don't run, reflect. Ask yourself, what is this person showing me about myself? What feeling or fear is coming up? The answers might be uncomfortable, but they're the key to healing. For James, Lily's encouragement revealed his fear of failure. For Mia, Daniel's kindness exposed her fear of intimacy. These soulmates didn't cause the pain, they illuminated it, giving them a chance to grow. Here's a practical step. Create a mirror journal. When someone stirs a strong emotion in you, whether it's anger, insecurity, or longing, write it down. Start with, this person made me feel emotion. What does this remind me of? What part of me is being triggered? Be specific. If they make you feel unworthy, to trace it back. Is it a childhood memory, a past rejection then? Write one thing you can do to nurture that wounded part of yourself. Like practicing self-compassion or setting a boundary, James used this practice to face his fear of failure. Writing affirmations like, my creativity is enough. Over time, this journal becomes a map of your shadow, guiding you toward healing and wholeness. Mia found that journaling helped her see patterns in her relationships, allowing her to choose vulnerability over fear. Another tip, don't blame the mirror. It's easy to point fingers when a soulmate triggers you, but Jung would remind you that they're not the source of your pain, they're the reflection. Instead of pushing them away, thank them silently for showing you what needs attention. This shift in perspective turns a painful moment into a sacred opportunity. You're not just reacting, you're growing. And when you embrace what the mirror shows, you start attracting connections that align with your healed self, not your wounded one. One final thought, a soulmate's mirror isn't meant to break you, it's meant to build you. Jung believed that every trigger is a chance to integrate your shadow, to love the parts of yourself you've rejected. Your soulmate might not stay forever, but the truth they reveal will. They're sent by the universe or God to help you see yourself clearly, so you can step into the person you're meant to be. As we move to the next chapter, where we'll explore how soulmates disrupt your life to spark transformation. Take a moment to reflect. Who in your life feels like a mirror? What truth are they showing you? Share your story in the comments below. It might just inspire someone else on their journey. Let's keep going. What if meeting your soulmate feels less like a dream and more like a storm? Not the kind that sweeps you off your feet with romance, but the kind that shakes your world, upends your routines, and forces you to question everything you thought you knew about yourself. Carl Jung taught that true transformation begins with disruption, a breaking apart of the false self you've built to survive. When a soulmate enters your life, they don't just fit into your plans, they unravel them. Sent by the universe or God to dismantle the walls you've constructed around your heart. In this chapter, we'll explore how soulmates disrupt your life to spark growth, using real stories, Jung's wisdom, and practical steps to embrace the chaos as a sacred step toward becoming your true self. Let's start with a story. Meet Sarah, a 35-year-old office manager from Portland. Sarah had a stable life, a steady job, a tight-knit group of friends, and a predictable routine that felt safe but unfulfilling. Deep down, she dreamed of becoming a yoga instructor, but fear of failure kept her stuck. Then she met Michael at a community event. His free-spirited energy and passion for living authentically were magnetic, but they also unsettled her. Michael asked questions no one else dared. Why are you playing small? What's stopping you from chasing your dreams at first? Sarah felt defensive, dismissing him as unrealistic. But his words lingered, stirring a restlessness she couldn't ignore. Their connection pushed her to confront the truth. She was living for others' expectations, not her own. Within a year, Sarah quit her job, enrolled in yoga teacher training, and transformed her life. Michael wasn't her forever partner, but he was her soulmate, a catalyst who disrupted her comfortable cage to set her free. Jung believed that soulmates often arrive to challenge your persona, the mask you wear to navigate the world. The persona is the version of you that's polished, acceptable, and safe, the hard worker, the people pleaser, the good friend or partner, but beneath it lies your true self, raw, authentic, and unafraid. When a soulmate enters, they don't buy the act. They see through your mask and call you out. Not with cruelty, but with a truth that shakes your foundation. This disruption feels chaotic because it forces you to question the life you've built. Old habits start to feel hollow. Friendships that once felt secure may drift apart. Goals you chased no longer spark joy. Jung called this an essential part of individuation, the process of shedding the false self to uncover who you're meant to be. Your soulmate doesn't destroy your life. They expose what was never truly yours. Why does this disruption feel so intense? Because it's a confrontation with your comfort zone. The persona is a shield, protecting you from vulnerability, failure, or judgment. When a soulmate challenges it, it's like standing in a storm with no shelter. You might resist, like Sarah did, clinging to the safety of the familiar. But Jung would say this is the universe or God at work, using your soulmate to break down what no longer serves you. They're not here to make your life easier. They're here to make it real. Their presence might push you to face fears you've avoided, like Sarah's fear of failure, or to let go of relationships that keep you small. This isn't chaos for chaos's sake. It's divine demolition, clearing space for your authentic self to emerge. Consider Ryan, a 42-year-old accountant from Atlanta. Ryan prided himself on his disciplined life, but he felt empty, trapped in a cycle of work and obligation. Then he met Sophia at a book club. Her vibrant curiosity and refusal to settle for mediocrity shook him. When Sophia asked why he stayed in a job he hated, Ryan brushed it off. But her question lingered like a splinter in his mind. Their conversations forced him to confront a truth he'd buried. He'd chosen security over his passion for teaching. Sophia's energy was like a wake-up call, pushing Ryan to enroll in an education program. Their friendship faded over time, but the disruption she brought changed his life forever. Sophia was his soulmate, not for love, but for transformation, showing him the courage to rewrite his story. So, how do you embrace the disruption a soulmate brings? It starts with letting go of control. Jung taught that growth requires surrendering to the unknown, trusting that the universe is guiding you toward your truth. When someone enters your life and shakes things up, don't fight it, lean in. Ask, what is this person showing me about the life I'm living? What feels misaligned? The answers might lead you to uncomfortable truths, like realizing you're chasing someone else's dreams or hiding behind a role that doesn't fit. But those truths are the seeds of transformation. Here's a practical step. Try a life audit journal. When a soulmate disrupts your world, write down what feels unsteady. Start with, this person makes me question aspect of my life. Why does this feel uncomfortable then? List one small action you can take to align with your true self. For Sarah, it was researching yoga programs. For Ryan, it was looking into teaching certifications. Be honest, write about the habits, relationships, or goals that no longer feel right. Then, ask, what would my life look like if I lived for me? This journal isn't just a reflection, It's a roadmap to rediscover your authentic path. Sarah found that writing about her fears helped her see she was ready to take a leap, while Ryan used it to map out his transition to teaching. Another tip: embrace the discomfort as a gift. Disruption feels unsettling because it's breaking the illusion of who you thought you were. Instead of resisting, thank your soulmate, silently or aloud, for showing you what needs to change. This mindset turns chaos into opportunity. When Sarah felt defensive about Michael's questions, she learned to see them as a push toward her dreams. When Ryan felt unsettled by Sophia, he recognized her challenge as a call to courage. Your soulmate's disruption isn't punishment. It's the universe saying, you're ready for more. One final thought: disruption is the doorway to your true self. Jung believed that every breakdown is a chance for a breakthrough. Your soulmate doesn't upend your life to hurt you. They do it to free you, to help you shed the persona that's kept you small, whether they stay for a moment or a lifetime. Their role is to spark a transformation that aligns you with your soul's purpose. As we head to the next chapter, where we'll explore how soulmates awaken your wholeness, pause and reflect. Has someone shaken your world lately? What part of your life are they asking you to rethink? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience might light the way for someone else. Let's keep moving forward. What if your soulmate isn't here to complete you, but to remind you that you're already whole? The world tells us to search for someone to fill our voids, to be our missing half. But Carl Jung saw it differently. A soulmate isn't your savior. They're a spark, sent by the universe, or God, to awaken the parts of you that have been asleep, buried under fear, doubt, or the masks you wear. This awakening is the heart of Jung's concept of individuation, the journey to integrate every piece of yourself into a whole, authentic being. In this final chapter, we'll explore how soulmates ignite this awakening, pushing you to rediscover your inner strength, passions, and truth. Through real stories, Jung's wisdom, and practical steps, you'll learn how to embrace this divine call to become the person you were always meant to be. Let's start with a story. Meet David, a 40-year-old engineer from San Francisco. David had built a life of stability, good job, nice house, predictable routines, but he felt hollow, like something vital was missing. As a young man, he'd loved painting, but he'd abandoned it to pursue a practical career. Then he met Anna at an art gallery opening. Her vibrant energy and fearless creativity drew him in, but they also stirred a quiet ache. Anna's passion for her own art made David confront the truth. He'd buried his creative soul to fit society's mold. Their late-night talks about dreams and authenticity weren't just conversations, they were a wake-up call. Anna encouraged him to pick up a paintbrush again. And though it terrified him, David started painting. That choice didn't just revive his passion, it transformed his life, leading him to teach art classes on weekends. Anna wasn't his romantic partner, but she was his soulmate, sent to awaken the artist he'd forgotten. Jung believed that soulmates enter our lives not to fill a gap, but to reflect our wholeness. The world teaches us we're incomplete, that we need someone else to make us enough. But Jung's philosophy flips this idea. You are already whole, a divine spark carrying every strength, passion, and truth you need. The problem is, life's wounds, trauma, rejection, or societal pressure bury parts of that wholeness. You dim your dreams to avoid failure, hide your vulnerabilities to seem strong, or silence your voice to keep the peace. A soulmate doesn't fix you. They hold up a mirror to the parts of you that are still asleep, urging you to reclaim them. This awakening can feel exhilarating, but it's also challenging. It asks you to step into your full potential, even when it's scary. Why is this awakening so powerful? Because it's a return to your true self. Jung's concept of individuation is about integrating every part of you, your light, your shadow, your dreams, and your fears, into a unified whole. When a soulmate enters your life, their presence sparks this process. They might remind you of a passion you've buried, like David's painting, or a strength you've doubted, like courage or self-love. Their energy doesn't let you stay small. It challenges you to grow into the person you were born to be. This isn't always comfortable. Awakening means facing the fears or limiting beliefs that have kept you from your truth. But it's also liberating, because it reminds you that you don't need someone else to be whole. You already are. Take Emily, a 29-year-old teacher from Austin. Emily had always been the good girl, pleasing everyone but herself. Deep down, she longed to travel and write poetry, but she feared it was selfish or impractical. Then she met Sam, a free-spirited traveler who lived life on his own terms. Sam's stories of adventure stirred something in Emily, a longing she'd suppressed for years. At first, she resented him, thinking his carefree attitude was reckless. But as they grew closer, she realized he was mirroring her own unlived dreams. Sam's encouragement pushed her to take a leap. She started a blog, took a solo trip to Europe, and began sharing her poetry. Sam didn't stay in her life forever, but his presence awakened Emily's courage to live authentically. He was her soulmate, not for a lifetime of romance, but for a lifetime of self-discovery. So, how do you embrace the awakening a soulmate sparks? It starts with listening to your inner voice. Jung believed that the unconscious speaks through feelings, dreams, and desires that surface when you're ready to grow. When a soulmate stirs something in you, a passion, a truth, or a longing, don't dismiss it. Lean into it. Ask, what part of me is this person waking up? What have I been afraid to claim? For David, it was his creativity. For Emily, it was her adventurous spirit. These awakenings are the universe's way of saying, it's time to be you. Here's a practical step. Start a wholeness journal. Every day, write down one thing a soulmate, past or present, has inspired in you. It could be a passion, like David's painting, or a truth, like Emily's desire to live freely. Begin with, this person makes me want to action or feeling. What does this say about my true self then? List one small step you can take to honor that part of you. Maybe it's signing up for a class, saying no to a draining obligation, or simply affirming, I am enough. David wrote about his desire to paint and committed to 1 hour of art a week. Emily journaled about her longing to travel and booked her first solo trip. This journal isn't just a reflection, it's a commitment to your wholeness, helping you build a life that reflects your soul. Another tip, practice self-gratitude to anchor your awakening. The world often teaches us to seek validation from others, but Jung would say true wholeness comes from within. Each day, write down one thing you're proud of about yourself. No matter how small, maybe it's your courage to try something new, or your kindness to a stranger. This builds a habit of self-love that strengthens your core. Emily started this practice, noting moments when she felt brave, like sharing her poetry online. Over time, it helped her trust her own voice, attracting connections that celebrated her authenticity. One final thought, your soulmate's greatest gift isn't their presence, it's the awakening they ignite. Jung believed that every soulmate is a messenger, sent by the universe or God to remind you of your inherent wholeness. They don't complete you. They show you that you were never broken. Whether they stay for a moment or a lifetime, their role is to spark a transformation that brings you home to yourself. As we head to our outro, where we'll wrap up this journey with a powerful call to embrace your soul's truth. Take a moment to reflect. Who has awakened something in you? What part of your wholeness are they helping you reclaim? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience might inspire someone else to awaken too. Let's wrap this up with a spark that lights your path. Your soulmate isn't just a person. They're a divine spark sent by the universe to light your path home. Through synchronicity, mirrors, disruption, and awakening. These connections are more than love. They're sacred invitations to meet the real you. Carl Jung's wisdom shows us that every soulmate, whether they stay for a moment or a lifetime, arrives to guide you toward wholeness. That random meeting, it was the universe whispering, "It's time to grow." That pain they stirred, it was your shadow begging to be seen. That disruption, it was your false self crumbling to reveal your truth. And that spark of awakening, it was God or the cosmos reminding you that you've always been whole, waiting to be reclaimed. This journey isn't about finding the one to complete you. It's about discovering the one you've always been. Every soulmate, every synchronicity, every trigger is a step closer to individuation. Jung's path to becoming your fullest self. So, don't wait for someone to save you. Start now. Pick up that journal and track your synchronicities. Face the mirror of your shadow. Embrace the disruption that shakes your world. And above all, awaken to your wholeness by loving every part of yourself, light, dark, and everything in between. The soulmates you dream of, the ones who feel like home, are waiting for the version of you who dares to be whole. This is your moment. What's one truth a soulmate has shown you? Maybe it's a coincidence that felt like fate, a wound they mirrored, or a dream they awakened. Share it in the comments below. Your story could be the spark someone else needs. Let's build a community of awakened souls right here at Jung Psyche Hub. If this video moved you, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell to never miss a step on this journey of self-discovery. Share this with someone who needs to hear it, because the world needs more people living their truth. And don't forget to like and comment to keep the conversation alive. Thank you for joining us. Keep trusting the universe's plan. Your soulmate and your soul are guiding you home.